So in this video, we're going to take a look at GarageBand, but this time we're going to take a look at the tracks section. And again, just a simple introduction to how to get started with it, where the buttons are, and the different things that you can do. So I'm going to start with opening GarageBand. And again, tap on the plus in the top right corner to get started with a new project. And this time, instead of live loops, I'm going to go across to tracks. Now you'll notice within tracks you have access to all of these different instruments that you can choose from and start to play directly on your device. Now I'm not going to go into each one of those at the moment. That's kind of the fun of playing with GarageBand. And again, I'll highlight Owen Hughes' great YouTube channel, which really talks about all the different things that you can do and go into a lot of detail. But let's just take a look at keyboard for starters and have a look at the different sections. So I can choose a smart piano, which gets me straight into playing straight away. But this is also something which is useful for the classroom, which is a sampler, and it allows me to record some sound from the classroom, from home, from the garden, outdoor learning areas, and actually be able to then turn that into a sound. Let's just jump into smart piano and have a look at the setup of what you see when you're in an instrument. Instantly, you'll see that I have access to my chords along the bottom here. That's a really quick way just to start being able to play some music. I also have the option up here for autoplay, which means that I can set this to play for me. So a really nice touch. And we also, when I choose where it says grand piano, you'll see that I can actually then instantly go into all other types of instrument with a keyboard. So play around with lots of different elements, different sounds. There's so many in here that you can choose from. And also, as we said with live loops, lots of options to download additional sounds as well. So that's a really quick way to get started. Similar to before, when we start recording, I tap on the red button here. But it's also useful to know that if you want to create a longer song than the 8 bars, the plus by here allows you to lengthen the type of section that you have. Currently it's set to 8 bars. You can increase this manually, or you can set it to automatic, which means it will just keep recording. That's quite useful if you're just recording something like sound as opposed to recording music, similar to as in the other video that I've shown here, if you were recording like a conversation with someone that you wanted to use as a podcast. Similarly, once you've recorded, you can tap on this element here, which looks a little bit like a sandwich, and you'll see all the different elements of your song. Now, what's really useful here, just to point out, is if I want to add another instrument, if I tap the plus down the bottom, I can then go back to my instrument chooser and I can select a different instrument to add in. And you'll see that the setup is very similar. I have chords again here, my autoplay. But if I do want to go to notes, you simply can select that as well and go between them. So there we go, just a really basic introduction just to how GarageBand is set up and some of the things you can do. And there is so much you can play around with this app and get really creative.